This
some
conference will now be recorded.
okay, so we know the long form of the YAML first, right? It another markup language, and I went through this Wikipedia page. So they are saying that it's now it's a different thing, that is it's a YAML and markup language. But why is that so? So it's basically so what is YAML first? We want to know about YAML, right? So YAML is a serialization language. So before it was considered as a markup language, but after they purposely changed this thinking of this markup language as the data serialization language, where basically what is serialization means that, so it means application which are different, which are written in with different technologies and with different tools also, so which have different data structure, can transfer data to each other on agreed common platform. So so this is kind of serialization, data serialization. They consider it AML as a data serialization language, and it's basically very a super duper language where it's human readable, that we can read it properly, and it's user friendly language rather than other languages like we can see in the slide. Let's say it's AML and XML and JSON. So what do you think of the other languages that we can see various syntax difference between these languages, where microservice, where we can see in AML there is very small, like very few syntax, and compare with XML and JSON itself. So so this is a common. I believe that this is the common difference between all those three languages, where AML is very user friendly, where we can read it and we can write it very properly and cleanly. So this slide is also same, where we can see it's a common difference. It's not much difference. Like we can see here, it's a key value based language, where we can see every key has their value, and it also has their own syntax, like it's have their, it's have its own data structure. So move to the next slide, we can see in key, it's a key pair language, and after that we can see we have some array and list and dictionary of map. So we can consider as uh, there are few terminologies we already may have introduced in Python, where we can we know what is dictionary is, what is tuple is, or what is list is, right? So in here also AML, they simply introduced these features where we can write those key pair, list, and dictionary. So I will introduce each and every element. So uh, what is common use of these languages? So I think that this is mainly a form for the configuration files, like where we can put all the instructions, and through that we can run our infrastructure. So let's get into it, and let me create and give a small intro of this thing, that how we can create this AML file. Basically we have two extensions of this AML language, that is YML and let me type in here. So one second. So basically, I'm starting with the command comments. So with hash, we can just go with the comment. So anywhere, if you want to put something comment, so you just give a hash, and after that you can write that this code is for this particular uh, this piece of instruction is for particular like component or any other thing. So so the extensions of this like we see various like languages having their file name with a .py, let's say Python, so we write that .py. So in AML we have two extensions, that is YAML, .yaml and .yml. So you can go with these things. Oh, so you can put any of this extension to any of the, like here you can see I just give the AML and YML and AML. So these are the extensions, and I'm starting with myself itself. So uh, so how to write this AML file first? So let me try with myself that I am the, like everything has their own properties in itself. So I am having my own properties, so let me put my properties here. So I'm a person, and so I'm surely having some name. So I can have codes on so basically it's based on indentation. So start with the first thing is, in here we 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 are creating some object. So after the like person is the object having the properties, so let me get into the properties. So person is the object, and after that this will be the indentation. So there should be some specific common space in each of the property. So let's say I'm taking a name. So it is a string, it's already AML already considered this as a string. So it already knows what is the type, data type of the particular variable or particular key. Let's say what is my age? So you can give space in between those things. So we have to properly write this thing, that there should be a space in front of a particular space, a particular common space in each of the key, with each key. Let's say any other number. My favorite number I can say is 1x is to the power 10 is some common different number. We can, like I'm showing that what different things we can put in the AML. So we can also having the Boolean values here, we can see. So you can see in here the common space I'm leaving in each in front of each of the property here. So it should be common, because is a is a it's a same object. Okay, it's not a different object. If I'm doing this thing, so it will give an error. So we can check this also. So let me copy this thing, and let me validate this thing first. Okay, so where is my second? We have this one. Okay, online. So on the site we can just validate our uh, AML script, or we can say AML instructions or AML file, whatever, right? So in here we are not seeing any error, right? But if I do this, so it's saying that there is this AML is invalid, because there is some space. It's not properly written. So uh, you can see here the spaces should be common in front of each property. Moving ahead, go ahead, and let's say this is a Boolean value I shown you. After that, let's say get into some. So I can also consider some, like null value also I can give, no matter, like it will not throwing error or something. So let me mention some list. So in list, what we do is we are giving some space or no space. We in here after the indentation, just when I put this enter mark, after that we can give hyphen or
Hi,
space
Chetan.
hyphen.
Neil here.
Yes, yes.
In between, give some time if anybody can ask some questions after your explanation. Okay.
Sure,
Any
sir. Sure.
doubts? Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, team participants, anybody having doubts, you are welcome. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, please ask me. You can
Can I
interrupt
ask
me in
you?
between. Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Hey, Chetan, thanks for organizing this class. I mean, giving the class. So in a way, the YAML is just a replacement for the XML and the JSON. Is that correct statement?
Hello. Can you just be a bit louder?
So yeah, can I understand YAML as a replacement for XML and JSON?
Yeah, sure, no problem. But in these days, people only go for the ML because it's mostly readable language. You know, the syntax difference you can see in XML file or in JSON file. You just have to put like this curly braces and other things you have to consider there. So people go for this because it's very much readable and very much it's good for writing also. So it's people choice that they going go after AML only.
Okay. Is
So
there any other?
you can consider this XML and JSON because in let's see in cloud formation, if you have any idea about AWS cloud formation, there you have two options for the you can write a script in the AML itself also in the or in the JSON also. So you have the option there. So according to
Okay.
choice,
So because to actually interpret what he is saying is, this is actually a language that has been used by a non-developer aspects of the people. So let's suppose a person who is actually from an operation side, he would never be aware about uh, the the developers, what they actually do. So here, the interpretation is in such a way that, it's similar to a common English language, what you actually type. The only
Right.
aspects is you would have to follow the indentation. If the indentation is incorrect, you will definitely get the errors. So
Right.
that's the reason he actually showed you that website wherein you can go ahead and paste that codes that you've written and verify that whether if it's properly been executed or not.
Correct. Correct. And I get that. I was just on the scratch level. I was just asking, is it
Okay.
the future? Is it going to take over the XML and the JSON?
Well, you can't compare it on those aspects wherein you would say that it would of course take on JSON or XML. JSON and XML, they do have their aspects and they do have their own they do have their own world, in fact, that has to be there. This particular scripting languages, in fact, they have come with the aspects wherein the DevOps, or you can say the role wherein you are trying to automate things, okay, on a simpler way, okay, has become quite you can say quite a boom in the factor, in fact, that is there in the market right now. So, why would I, of course, go out and spend my time and maintaining those braces and everything, because I'm not aware
Correct.
about what do I do, in fact. I write a code, uh, I paste it across here, and if something is going wrong, I'll definitely need some time to understand the entire code. But with YAML, in fact, I can just go on and interpret those things as simple as possible. And I do have an interpreter that is also providing me the solution straight away.
Correct. Yep, that helps. Thanks,
yeah,
Prashant and Chetan.
because yeah, one thing that what do you think of this picture I'm showing here? Which is the language you prefer most?
Well,
Which
is much more readable. So yeah, I can easily
Right.
understand without paying too
Yeah,
much attention on the
because
breastplate and tags.
yeah, because let's see if there are multiple properties in your file, and after you're putting like these braces or these uh, angle brackets, right? So
Mhm.
so for reading also you will take much more time, right?
Right,
Yeah. So for that, people are going after AML only. So this is the only thing I search and I observe.
right.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Can you move on?
but these XML and JSON may be having their own advantage, and for that reason, they might be still existing even after the EML.
Uh, yeah, sometimes like let's say legacy code is written in JSON only, right? So
Mhm.
writing to AML, you will need means like you will need some time and other things. So people with JSON skill go after JSON only, right? So
Yeah.
I think XML and JSON are pretty very like old languages than AML. I think so. So AML is old, but it's like becoming famous. So, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Thanks, Chetan.
yeah. Thank you, Kasi.
Suni,
Connectivity.
hello.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Dinesh.
Chetan, can you show the screen which where you have written that YAML script now? I mean, like,
This one, yeah.
yeah, what you will call this, the person name and all, what is the term used to call there? I mean, YAML.
No. I'm just giving some small example of this. Yeah,
Hey,
I will show other examples also. Like you will like how we'll let me show this file if you want to see it right now. So this is a Kubernetes file where you can see one second. Yeah. So this is the Kubernetes file where you mention your containers and other things, right? So this is proper way, like this is the way we write the AML file in. But I'm showing that how like with small things, like, right? I'm introducing myself with AML itself, yeah. So like how you can go after AML. Like, if I say that app version, you don't know about app version right now, API version, kind of metadata, right? These things are
yeah,
coming
right
with
now.
the yeah. So you will feel difficult to understand it right now. So I'm just
Yes.
going after like yeah. So I'm going after like how we can write simple AML file like with your properties. Let's say every object has their own properties, right? So let's
Yeah,
say
yeah.
considering myself as object and I'm showing my properties itself there. So going with that only. After that, I'm coming to this file and will share you some info on this also. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any syntax for that, or else YAML?
Sorry.
Do you have any particular syntax for YAML?
Yeah. I'm saying only that. These are the syntax only. This name is like this is string format, right? This is a number, right? This is the boolean value, and after that this is null value, right? So this is the
Yeah.
syntax itself. Yeah. This is indentation. This is only one syntax is there is indentation. So you
Okay.
have to follow indentation all through the file, right?
Okay.
So yeah. So this is the list. So these are the data types, right? What is data type? This is string, but AML considered itself that it is string. We don't have to mention particular brackets or mention particular commas around it. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So we don't have to mention the data type here like number. If this age is number, like in Java we put age is a number, age is equals to new number and all these things, right? Primitive data types we say. So we
Yeah.
don't have to mention here that it's a number or it's a string. So
Okay.
AML considers itself that it's a number or it's a string. It understands itself what you're giving to the like what you're putting in the file. Yeah. So
Okay.
moving ahead. Yeah. So moving ahead, the hobbies is the list. So let's say I'm having hobbies. Let's say hiking. And in list, we have three types of lists. I'm sharing. This is the first list I'm telling about. And movies, let's say multiple list can contain multiple values, right? So I'm having multiple hobbies, so this is the type of particular things we can mention in the format. Like this is a list, this is a set of the values, set of the keys. Then say riding a bike, so this is the particular one type of the list. Another I can okay, so I'm following the indentations only. Okay, so this passage I already left is should be common with the other things also. So let's say
But to add to Chetan's point, in fact, I would explain like I would like to explain something. In fact, in this aspect, okay. So probably for those guys, in fact, who are new to programming languages, they might think like, in what is this list, what is this strings and everything. So let me give you an idea. Okay. So when you talk about strings and when you talk about any particular syntaxes, okay. Let's suppose like in when we consider a person, what he's trying to do is he's trying to explain his features, in fact, in this particular code. So let's suppose name. I mean, that could be, of course, a one particular string value. I mean, he cannot have multiple names. I mean, he would have, but definitely that can't be specified out of here. Okay, the age factor is, of course, I mean, it remains constant. So, unless, of course, number can be a constant as well. And the male or female, I mean, that is an aspect that is, of course, either or that is there. Okay, and when you talk, okay, am I audible? List is an aspect like in wherein you have multiple things that come into play. So let's suppose, I mean, when he's explaining, he loves hiking, he loves movies, he loves riding bike. So what happens is, I mean, he can go ahead and choose multiple features that is there. I mean, either he can go for hiking, either he can go for movies, or he can ride bike. So the the reason for specifying all these things is because I mean, when we consider this aspects with our AWS technology, okay, uh, there are a couple of features wherein we would have to choose a couple of I mean, syntaxes or couple of things from the list, in fact, and would have to pull the data across in the same stage. So he's trying to specify those.
okay, so guys, I'm comparing here like what is name. So let's say my name is Chetan, but in the real scenario, what we will give, that is container name. It will be a container name. Let's say if there is Docker container, or let's say is a Kubernetes pod. So we will give this thing like we can mention that container name is equals to some specific name will there. Though container having some ID, so it will be a number, right? So I'm just giving myself like what properties I'm having. So these are the simple things I'm showing you, like how we can write a YAML file with simple things, uh, introducing myself only. So let's say movies. So what kind of movies? So we can write a list in this format also. Let's say there are different container names, so multiple container names, or microservices, we can say there are different microservices. So we can write particular microservice in this format also. And let's say movies, so in this format also we can write the list. Say, sorry. So this mentioning only this. So this is the second type of the list we can write in the YAML file. So according to the convenience, we can write the different types of list. I'm saying there are three types of list. I observed that this is the second type, and let's say the third type can be a friends. Yeah, I'm surely having some friends. So this is the third types where I can mention about the list. So this is a name, and let's say English, the age is 29. So again I can mention another name person. Let's say, see, I'm following all the proper syntax because it can give me error after putting in the ML validator. So let's say name, person to that, age might be 35. So this is the third type of list we can we can write here. So coming back to another data type, let's say there is some description about myself, in the particular format, right? In the text format, I'm describing myself that I'm this and that. Yeah.
I have a doubt, Chetan. Sunil here.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Why hyphen is not used in the line number 17?
17. Okay. So this is the list having two properties. So in friends, there are two properties. So in here, like movies, there are two properties you see. In the friends also, there are two properties.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not mentioning, so hyphen we give at once, and after that we can write the properties. So it can, I can say, sorry, so this is
So
the,
this age, we can understand age is something like child of name.
yeah, right.
Across to specify that this is the start and that's the end. So let's suppose, I mean, if he has a third friend, of course he'll specify those aspects. So besides age, if he has something like in which country that he is based on, which where he is located, so he'll specify that under that particular aspect itself. So those double quotes that is there, it is similar to that those double quotes. In fact, wherein he is specifying one particular property is aspected under one indentation, a hyphen note over there.
So I'm saying that this is the third type of list coming under this friends object. So in friends, we are seeing the two list. Okay, so these are the two list. We can also mention the third list also, that having the multiple properties. So this is a full object. In a person, there are, these are properties, but there is also another object we can say in the person object. So let's say if I want to call this name, so I have to go through this person dot friends dot name, so that I can get the value of this name. That's how I can get this value. Yeah. So this is, we can consider as an object or a dictionary also, but in that we are having the third, we are having the list. So this is third type. I am saying that this is a list. uh, the way we can mention also, we can write the list this way also. So this is object, we can consider as a dictionary also, having multiple data types. Let's say in this object we are having the a string also, as well as the number. So we can consider this as a full object, and in that object we are having the list. So this is the one list, and this is the another list. So this way also we can write the list. So this way. Okay, so let's see, if I want to know about the hiking. Okay, so in hiking I can have the properties also. Okay, so let's say in hiking, tools I can say what tools I can use. Let's say rope. Okay, so here you can see this is the full object, right? In hobbies, hobbies is the object having the list. These are the list. These are the lists, and these are also the list coming under this friends object. We can consider this as a full object. This is the object having the like string values only. This is the object considering the string value only. Yeah. So having the list, considering having the
Chetan,
yeah.
I have one question actually. You have written hobbies, in that you have written hiking, like list, like right? Hobbies, tools, and in that movies you have written, again you have written movies, and you have showed list. So movies are part of hobbies. I mean, it's like array within the array, or
No,
what is
no, they are different. These are the different things altogether.
it's a different now? Okay, movies
Yeah,
are
yeah.
different,
This
and
is
that movie you showed it's a different.
the full object. This is the full list, and this is the full object we can consider right now, because
Okay.
There is a
in
dictionary, I
object,
guess.
yeah, this is dictionary. Dictionary or object you can consider same. So
Having the
I will
multiple
come after
data types within that.
multiple data types. Have, yeah, multiple data type. If you have the multiple data type in particular object, that is dictionary itself. Yeah.
Correct. Dictionary, or we can say list.
No, no, list can't have like multiple data type, but there is difference. Like I will show you the difference afterwards. Yeah.
And we can write multiple multi-line collections also in such a way. If say example address, then we have multiple line in that one. That is the benefit of YAML, correct?
You mean this? Like I'm showing you the description. Okay. In description, let's say there is some multiple values. So one thing. Like if there is a paragraph, you were saying that if there is a paragraph. One second. Not
Maybe
writing
used as a pipe
less.
operator and then lines.
Yeah, so there is different way we can like let's say do this. So in here, so this is multi-line comment. We can see sorry, a multiple line value we can see. So we can mention as this and will give this. So this notation will consider that this is the this paragraph is the same line. Okay, but if we are having this pipe, so this will be a single line this will be a single line value only. So it will consider that this single line is different and this single line is different. But if I'm mentioning this notation, then it will consider that this both the lines are of same paragraph itself. So this is a single line description. So let me copy paste itself. So yeah, this we also use this features itself in when we write the YAML, because there are some log files where we mention in description like we mention in the YAML. So
Chetan,
this is the yes. Yes, go ahead.
really like I'm Dinesh. Instead of the description, can we write the description as content instead of the description? Like there is any specific objects we need to use the same object names, or else it's user defined.
Sorry, come again.
See, like is there any predefined object names we need to use, or else the object names can be user defined? Whatever we want, we can use the object names. Like now you have used the object name as description right here.
Yes, yes.
Instead of the description, can you content object name as content or else some other name?
I believe there should be some like file names we can see. So in let me show you one thing, like in here you'll get here that. Oh. Okay, where was that file? So I'm not having that AML file which where the Kubernetes configuration was there. So I think I had that. I don't know where I lost it. Okay, so we can basically if we having the log files, let's say log files, okay, and after that there are some commands and we have to go through that commands and see which log files we want to see. So in description we can mention those log files in this way itself. Yeah, so this pipe is in mostly views, and this is for the like general paragraph or let's say a description. So basically, but this pipe is used mostly because we see the some log files, the like when we write the commands. Okay,
So,
let
I
me
think
move
what
forward.
Ganesh wants to know is, in fact, can we use synonyms instead of description? So can you remove that description word out over there and type in the word content? Let's see what exactly happens.
Yeah, we can. This is description is about me itself. Yeah, so
So
we can
remove
have
that
anything.
word description. Type in content.
And be
Yeah, we
anything,
can have.
content or something like that, address, or maybe whatever. Do you want to understand that?
Yeah,
Later,
address we can
what
have,
kind
like,
of
or
things you can write it? Address or something like that.
Ganesh, are you clear about it? I mean, it does work. I mean, it's not predefined things that we have to go through. I mean, we can of course use other descriptions as well. So there is no predefined values for anything. So
It's a
association
dynamic.
can be.
so basically this thing is like for the if we have the multiple files, let's say, so and if we want to like iterate through each file, so after that we can like use pipe or this thing that uh, for this thing we can have only one file because we can't go through multiple file, because in it is for basically like it's a multi command or single command line, right? So see, this is single uh, it can be a single text we can say, and this is multi-text. So it iterate through the each every file you mention the like what you want to see, like if say there are logs files I say, so if there are multiple log files you can mention after this that let's say some uh, ELB logs, or after that any log file we can see. Okay, so basically it will give the information to you which files you want to uh, iterate through. So this is particularly used for that purpose only. You can have I did have that thing with me. I want to share with you, but okay, this thing, yeah. Okay, you can see in here pipeline. So in this Kubernetes file you can see that we are using this pipe, and after that some log files are mentioned here. So we can have the information of these log files through this command. So it will iterate through each file. Like it is saying that this pipe is saying that these are not these are multiple files. Okay, these are different files. So like new line command, we say slash new, we mention sometimes, like for the new like new line command we say, right? So this pipe is working for that only. Like this will go through this file first, after that this file first. So this it will consider that these are the different files. Okay, and like this also we can have this bash command, where it will consider, it will go through each line, right? So if say if you have any program, so it will go through each line. After that it will give us a result or print something like it will print here something like 10 to 1, something like this code is. And yeah, basically this pipe is considering this as a new line. So it will interpret line by line code, I can say. So this pipe, we use this pipe where we can mention this bash scripting, yeah, shell scripting, yeah. So getting back to the our own, so different, let's say a signature I have, and what signature, like I can have my name here, right? Say Chetan. After that my let's say info age, it's like my say email. So in here also you can mention the pipe so that it will go through the each line. So these are the basic data types of the AML file, where we mostly interact with these things. Like let's say one object can have multiple properties, like string, number, or boolean value, or let's say dictionary, or let's say list. So these are the different data types of the AML. So basically we write these things only in this format only. Okay, so I think I don't miss out on any gaps or any spaces or any indentation. We'll check afterwards. Yeah. So one more concept is, like let's say if I'm having the like if I want to call by value, right? In their Java there is a concept that call by value, or let's say if I'm having ID where I want to call the name, I want to call this name, how I can call this? So I have to mention that ampersand name, and I want to get that name in this ID. So I will mention here star name. So this way I can get that name. I can get this name. That is, what is the name? Name is Chicken. So I will get that value in this field. So how I can access those things through this these notations, that I have to mention the star name here and ampersand name here to access. If you want to access any property in other property, right? Sometimes we access those things. We will see in I will show you in the
Java jQuery, right?
Yeah. Hello.
It is just like a jQuery where we mostly use this kind of stuff, correct? As
Yeah. We can say those are variables like
variables.
yeah, those are
When those are
variables.
the variables that has already been defined, what we are trying to do is, in fact, we are trying to call the same thing out here. So rather than writing the entire thing again, of course, we can use that symbol-based aspects. We can just give a call out using this particular command. That's what exactly is trying to specify. Chetan, if you could
Yeah.
show them the example wherein we of course require the what you say when we
Yeah.
build EC2 instance or something wherein we of course need those names
Yes.
repeatedly. So uh,
I do. Yeah.
I
I do have. Yeah. I do have VPC file. I will show you afterwards because
show them that
yeah.
that would of course help them understand why exactly this particular aspect is required.
Yes. So this thing like this is the VPC. If anybody knows of the VPC, virtual private network in AWS, so when we create this YAML file, here we mention that whenever like if you want to access some of the variables, okay. So in here we first define the parameters, okay. I have defined the parameters, and after that I am accessing those parameters in the this variables itself. Yeah. So let's say I will show you the full example afterwards, but right now okay. So here you can see that this is refer, okay. So this is the one type where I am accessing the variable of the CIDR block range through these parameters. I will mention this CIDR block. I will show you in the format. Just give me some time. Just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me
No
finish
worries.
this,
Understood,
and
buddy.
I will. Yeah. So in here, let's say if I have some object in this base, okay, and I want to access that object in some other space. So let's say I'm having value, and I want to access this base full this object in other object. So how I can like access this object in other object? So like let's say I have this variable, and uh, so I have to access this thing. So I have mentioned this notation to access, and after that I will do the same thing, right? That is star base. So now in that full object, I have get this whole thing, that is value and value one, in this like I mentioned in here star base. So I'm having this full object in this full object set to access the other object in this object. So it was same as this, and but it is having multiple properties, right? It is having the simple name. In ID I'm accessing the simple name, but in object to object like accessibility, we have to do this notation where we can access the one object in other object. So this is the way we accessing the objects. Like let's go to our now here. So this is also the way we where we can access the variables. Like in here I have mentioned the parameter, like right. So to write the VPC, VPC having like multiple like this is the infrastructure where we having multiple properties like VPC, subnet, for that route tables, and the maybe guys you have some idea of this thing that we need this infrastructure in AWS cloud where we can host any service or any applications on this like network. First we have to create the network. After that we go for the hosting the services, right? Hosting the apps on this network. So we have to create this infrastructure. Like VPC is the infrastructure where we have the subnet, a route table, and the other properties like let's say gateway
Availability zone.
and no, availability zone is different. Where like in one availability zone we can have multiple VPCs, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
So VPC is basically this where we have multiple parameters. Like we have to feed some parameters like CIDR, block range. So I have formed this VPC.aml file where I'm having this property. See here we have proper indentation. What like what subnet one? This is subnet one. Okay, so what subnet one like having what properties having? So it's having the type and properties. What properties in CIDR block range we need, availability zone we need, and VPC ID we need. So tags we can ignore. Like these are not the most important things, but the things like CIDR blocks we should have mentioned. We need how to mention this thing because this is important thing for this subnet. Okay, so subnet like after that in gateway we are giving this type. So let me show you something like this thing, that how to write this VPC in AML, right? Uh, so you can see here, right? So they have given us both option like JSON and AML. So in JSON also we can create this VPC structure, and in AML also we can create this VPC structure. So what properties we need to form the VPC structure? They have given us in particular user guide in AWS Cloud Formation. So referring this thing only, like you can see here AWS EC2 VPC. I'm referring this thing, and through this thing only I'm able to like write this thing. Right? You can see in here I mentioned that I need the EC2 VPC. Okay, like that we have to put everything. Like for the subnet also we have to go for the EC2 subnet. There should be some mention of EC2. So yeah, this is here. Okay, so you can match this code with like this is the piece of code they are showing us what exactly what field we need to form this subnet. Okay, so this thing only I have mentioned in here where I need to create the subnet. So this is the subnet, this is the EC2 instance. We having the two subnets, subnet 1 and subnet 2. After that we are having the internet gateway, and we are having this route table. This all written in the AML file only. Okay, we can see that there is no curly braces or any angle brackets here. We are just having the indentations and proper indentations where you can see in type this what we can consider as this is a string only. Okay, this property is the object having the route table ID and the subnet ID. So this we can consider as a dictionary. It can have multiple things also, but the needed thing they have mentioned that they need route table ID and the subnet ID, the properties. So this is the VPC template I created. So let me show you how we can implement this VPC template in the cloud formation. Okay, guys, I'm in the AWS console itself. Let me go. Okay, so this is the console, and here's the AWS cloud formation. So basically, we use the service cloud formation to create new infra. Like we can say, if we want to create whole infra of the network side, like VPC is basically comes under the network side only. So we can create through this YAML file which I wrote. So in here, I have to simply create a stack where I can upload my this YAML file, or you can also upload this YAML file to the S3. After that, through S3 URL, you can access, like if I mention. So for if you know about something S3, that we can get that URL and we can mention that URL here, and after that we can create. But I'm accessing through my local itself. So let me upload that file from my local.
So basically, what Chetan is trying to do right now is, I mean, whenever we create a VPC instance, we would have to go to EC2, and then of course all the procedure that we have to follow. What he has done is, in fact, he has implemented all those aspects, like in what is the subnet ID, what is the availability zone, then what is the CIDR range, the internet gateway. Everything is written in a code in a format, okay, which can be uploaded in the S3 bucket that has been provided by Amazon, okay, or else probably you can upload that template file, and once you upload the same, and when you actually run it, of course the instance is created.
Yeah, right, Prashant. So yeah, you are, yeah, I miss on that point actually. So we can create VPC itself through the this what I can say. So yeah, from this, like piece by piece, we are creating everything, right? In we can create, but if through YAML file, we can create whole
But yeah,
infra,
what
right?
exactly he
If
wants to
we
say
are,
is, in fact, when he creates a VPC using this aspect, okay, the time taken is quite higher because he would have to go choose every aspects and put it across. When if he has a script, of course, he just would have to mention the key aspects that is required, and it's ready to go. Rather than it's not a time consume aspects when it comes to the script, and also an automation feature comes into play. So let's suppose, like in the client says that I want around 10 VPCs that has to be created. Understand the time that is consumed in creating 10 VPCs using that particular I mean, when you actually go to VPC and then you go and click on everything, every aspects, and add those features. Rather, what I'll do is, in fact, I have a script. I just go ahead and make the changes. I just upload it. That's it. In fact, I have one in, like in one of the instance in 2 minutes. And similarly, in fact, of course, I have multiple files that I've created. I just upload it. There I go. I have 10 instances in 20 minutes itself. Rather, in fact, one instance of creation of VPC might take 5 or 6 minutes out of here.
yeah, right. Yeah, because we can create multiple VP, like we can create only 5 VPCs itself in one region, but like we have to create them in manually. So why we go for manual, right? If we have the YAML, we can create like in one go itself. So in YAML file, just we have to mention the configuration here, and after that we can feed this YAML file to the AWS cloud formation, and it will create the VPC for us. But in if we go through this thing manually, it can be a time consuming process. So we have to create subnet, we have to create route table, we have to create internet gateways, line by line we have to go. Okay, but in YAML file, if we know how to create the VPC, what things we need for to create the VPC, right? And what things like to create the infrastructure of the or let's say any particular hosting app, okay, for hosting app. So this we know these things these things are required. We can mention these things in one single YAML file, and in one click we can just fit this YAML file to this CloudFormation, like I have uploaded right now. Okay, I've shown you here. Yeah. So this is the YAML file. This is the only YAML file on my local. I just open this YAML file in here, and in single go I can create multiple resources. So I don't need anything like, yeah, but here's the catch that I have to put the parameters. Okay, so let's say infra. So subnet in Ohio region, so US. Second. Okay. Yes, 1A.
Here, what he has
Okay.
done is, in fact, he has enabled the features of parameters. Okay. Rather, if you're aware about the parameters that is there, if we specify it in this particular file, we don't have, I mean, the screen that we see wherein he's entering the parameters, even that is not required.
Yeah, that is not required. But if you have the specific requirement from the client that we need this thing in particular availability zone, or particular, like we have this CID or block ranges for the subnet, they mention that we need this much of space for the IP ranges. Okay, so for that we are mentioning here the parameters. So these parameters only I am giving manually here. Okay, 1 second.
We can say that it is the superset to JSON, correct? I mean, if you want to pass a JSON, so why should not go for the YAML? In a one go, you can pass both JSON and YAML with the single pass.
Either
Sorry?
YAML or it's Nafis, it's either YAML or else either JSON that we can use. So there is no restriction as of such. We just write the same code in JSON as well and upload the same.
Okay.
Yeah, we just have to upload the code. It can be a YAML file or it can be a JSON file. So, sorry, 1 second. Just a dot here. Straight down there. So now we can see it's in progress. 5 seconds or 10 seconds, you will see that your VPC, EC2, subnet, route table, internet gateway, all has been created. So let me refresh. Oh, yes. Here you can see. So create complete VPC has been created. This is internet gateway has been created. The other things are in process. Okay, so okay, so here in here you can okay, parameters. So whatever the parameters I have given, you can see itself. Okay, and the output also you can see that everything every resource has been created here. So let me take you to the VPC. Okay, so I didn't do anything here, right? I didn't create any VPC here, but through the AML, through the CloudFormation, I created one VPC that is not here itself. Let me refresh, and you will see one VPC should be here. See, so this new infra VPC we have created. Let me show you an AML file. What was the name of our VPC? So this is the name of our VPC we have created to this AML file. Okay. Other things you can also see. No problem there. So subnet, you can see 2 subnets we have created. So as mentioned, this is new infra subnet 1 and new infra subnet 2 should be there. See guys, through one AML file, we can create these many resources in one go. But what we have to know, what is required exactly to create this infrastructure. So we know that to create the VPC and to host any web application on this platform, we need VPC subnet. Hello, am I audible? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, actually,
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Have you guys missed anything? Hello.
No.
Yeah, you are audible, Chetan. I mean, there is no issues.
Okay,
you can
yeah.
proceed.
Someone just ping me. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we can see here the subnet is created. Okay. I can show you that route table has been created also. No worries. So new route table, we created only one route table. We can create 2 route table itself. Okay. Like according to our requirement. This route table is connected to this subnet also. See the association subnet. After that, you can also see internet gateway, right? Okay. So the main today's agenda was how we can implement this AML file to how can feed this AML file to any like any servers or any services, so that it can create multiple components or multiple resources also. So this was the agenda for today only. So from basic to, if you know these things of this VPC, I can share you this file. You can just go through these things, and you can just create your own VPC also. You just have to know that what is required exactly to create the VPC, right? Why we need the route table, why we need the internet gateway, or why we need the subnets. So or why we how to associate this route table to the subnets, right? So and how we can host the particular web application on the EC2 server. So this is the agenda for today. Yes.
Basically, to sum everything up, okay.
Basically,
Hello.
if we summarize it, YML file is basically a configuration file to configure an application, and it is also used for importing and exporting data from one server to another server, correct?
Right.
Or maybe
So
used for the transferring data between different components.
right.
Intermediate
Or create new infrastructures or create new resources, we can say. So
yeah, using the because you have used as a YML file as a configuration file and you uploaded it into the AWS, due to which
yes,
it configure. I mean, it's a dynamic thing you have made it. As Prashant already explained, if you want to pass the parameters in that file, you don't need to pass the value from front end. You know that 20 VPCs you want to create, so you can pass the 20, or maybe we will write dynamic script. We are passing the 20 values of VPC, so it automatically creates the 20 VPCs and all, correct?
Right,
We
right.
can actually
And
create 5
in
VPC in one particular zone. That I wanted to clear it out. Yeah, but in multiple zone, what happens
Yeah.
is multiple scenarios. In fact, I mean, the client would say in this zone I need 5 VPC, the other zone I need 5 VPCs. So rather than spending the time, what I'll do is, in fact, what YAML
Passing the
does is, in
parameters
fact,
now.
yeah, what YAML does is, in fact, what he has interpreted is it's a basic language, okay, that is understandable by a common man as well, because it's in a simple English, okay, wherein an interpretation can be done. And along with that, in fact, if we are aware about what is required to create an infrastructure, we can implement those things just using YAML. So it's a simple tool that can help us build an infrastructure on the go at any time. So what DevOps guys do is actually they have such scripts, in fact, being created readily. Okay, so they keep it with them as and go when they are required to actually work on anything. In fact, you do just change the parameters and of course upload the file, and next 2-3 minutes, in fact, we have the infrastructure ready.
Chetan, I have a doubt.
yes,
Due
yeah,
to
Dinesh.
machine learning and all, correct? It is going
What
due to machine learning nowadays.
can like subnet one CIDR after the description type? Is it your predefined or else you have defined user defined? For coming to resources, new infra type and then properties and then CIDR block. What is that? All the things like
Mhm. Yeah, so I have already shown you that how to create VPC. So in here, their documentation, they already show that they have given us that what particular properties need to create particular resource. Okay, so let's say in one VPC, yeah. So in VPC, if I want to create the EC2 instance, or if I want to create the subnet, so what properties are required? So you can get that those properties in documentation itself and create your own resources. So if your client particularly requires something else, right? So in let's say he required some 10 subnets, okay? So you just have to copy paste one subnet, okay? So the property will be same, but it can differ in the availability zone, or you have to mention the different availability zone for the different subnets itself, okay? So so
yeah.
that is already shown in the document. So what properties you have to mention to create this infra? Okay, so
So it can
these things these things I haven't written. These things I haven't written. These are already mentioned in the documentation that these things we have to if you want to create the EC2 instance, we have to mention these properties only.
okay.
Chetan, if you could show them that properties pane, in fact, open up one of that file. In fact, if you scroll down, it will show them the
Yeah,
properties list. What is all required?
yeah, already shown. One second. User file, where was that? Template reference. And here, resource and property reference. Which property we need? And in here, see, lot many properties are there. So for every AWS service, you can see there are a lot of properties here. Okay, let's say what was that? AWS. Okay, in EC2, so we will need the EC2, right? We will need the server to run the our infra, right? So with regard of EC2, there are a lot of like these things are there, right? EC2 VPC, EC2 subnet. So let me show you EC2 VPC. Okay, so in here you can see this. See, these are the properties we need to create this.
Scroll down.
This.
Yeah. So
The
if you read
primary
this,
IP.
this actually shows all the properties that is required to create a VPC. So it is a simple structure. In fact, that would give you an idea how we can. I mean, what all aspects is required to create a VPC. So if we miss any part, like in let's say like in CIDR structure or a CIDR block that is required, it is mentioned here where to actually put those information across. Okay. Similarly, if you want to just create a EC2 instance, so we have a similar properties that is there. So everything is been mentioned. It's just we have to copy those, interpret those, and put it across in the YAML file, and you're ready to go.
And according to the importance of the property, they already also mentioned that this property is required or not. So let's see, CIDR block, this is required. Yes, this is required. Like if you want to create this particular piece of code, you have to require this property. If you don't mention this property, this resource would not be appear in your like infrastructure, or it may give you some error. Okay, so you should have to mention this CIDR block. That means that it is important property for this particular resource. So there are some properties like tag. Okay, so let's say tag is important or not. So it's required or not? No. So if you don't mention tag also in this YAML file, it will work. So you don't have to mention this tag also in here. Okay, so but we mention for this like for our understanding, like what key or what key and value name of this particular resource. So we give the tags, right? But this is not important property, but this is the important property. So that way we can write our YAML file to readable. Like if you want to go read someone's YAML file, right? So they should be readable. So for that we mention like they have given us a property where we can mention tags and other things, right? Yeah. So but there are some things that are important, that we have to mention. Yeah, any questions again? Hello.
So here reference VPCC means it will take the VPCC IDR, right?
Yeah, VPCC idea block.
That
The range, the range, like the range of the VPCC IDR block. I have mentioned in parameters, right? When I have created this resource.
Yes, I have seen. When you have made the tag in the cloud formation, you have done.
Yeah, in parameters, you can see the VPCC IDR block range. When I created this resource, I have mentioned this, right? So you are seeing this in parameters itself. Okay. Any questions with YAML, guys? I think you can just practice small things, not big things. I will share these things with you, like these files, small files, that how to write this thing, like how to like validate it, right? Let me validate this thing. Last thing, if it has any problem. So okay. So this is invalid, means there is some problem and we need to fix that problem, right? So guys, this is the task for you. I will share this file to you and you have to fix this problem. Okay, so there is problem showing on row. So what is this? Okay, can't I use? Okay, I think oh guys, you can figure out this thing that we can write the properties in hiking like this list or not. This is the list. Okay, when we give this hyphen, this is the list. I will try it on my side also, but this is the assignment for you. I will share this file to you and you just have to like explore this thing more. Okay,
Thank you, Chetan.
Okay
Thank you
then.
very much for the session. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was
Thank
very
you, Chetan.
insightful. And if
Yeah, I
possible,
think.
please mail me that files which you are using it. I'll share it in that Google Drive link. Okay, the same upload
Okay,
it
sir.
along with this
Yes.
recording. And if possible, share that cloud formation YAML file in case if you have used it. That's also
Yeah,
I'll
sure,
upload
sure.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I will share all the files. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Ananya. Thank you, Nafis, Karthik, Deepti, Rajshekhar, Sudhir. I hope you have enjoyed this session also. Tomorrow,
Thank you,
let's have a
guys.
break. So tomorrow, let's have a break. Next session, Monday morning, where we'll be using this YAML file to create a multi-container architecture using Docker Compose. Okay, that's the plan. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Prashant.
you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
you. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Prashant. Yeah. Bye. Bye.